Okay. At this point, now that we've gone over kind of the principles of accessibility and how to make content accessible, I'm going to switch over into Canvas, and I'm going to show you a couple of tools that you can use to check your course site for accessibility issues and to then fix those issues. So here you'll see I have navigated into a site that we've set up for this workshop specifically. I have started setting it up with accessibility in mind, so I've worked on setting up a home page because we know that that is one of the best practices for designing my course site. I've tried to include class and instructor information, an overview. I've got an introduction to Canvas video to help students, etc. And I have also started working on modules. So I've set up a week 1 module where I have a pre-class reading assignment and then also a handout for them to review. So I've started using best practices for designing my Canvas site. But if you were looking closely at my homepage, you might see some things that do not follow some of the best practices for accessibility for different pieces of content. So what I'm going to do is show you a tool that will highlight those issues and help you resolve them. The tool that we're going to use today is called Universal Design Online Inspection Tool, or UDOIT. It's an accessibility tool from a company called City Labs. It scans your entire course and identifies a lot of different accessibility issues, gives you information for why they're a problem, and helps you fix them. So depending on when your course site gets created, this tool may or may not already be enabled in your course navigation menu. So I have disabled it just so I can show you how to add it back in if you don't already have it. So to do that, I'm going to go into Settings. Then I'm going to click Navigation. And in this menu, you'll see the tools that I currently have enabled for students to see, and then a list of other tools that I might use for my course site. In this list, I'm going to look for the tool that says Accessibility, UDOIT. Then I'll click the 3 dots, click Enable, which brings it up to this top menu for tools that I'm using. And I want to make sure we scroll down and click Save at the bottom. So once we do that, you will see that the tool is now in my course navigation menu. One thing to know is that while it doesn't have a symbol showing that it's not available to students, so this little symbol of an eye with a line through it indicates that a tool is not visible to students. You don't see that for the UDOIT tool, but just know it is not a tool that students can see. If you ever want to check that, you can go into Student View in your course site and double check, but just know this tool is just for you. So now I'm going to navigate into the UDOIT tool. And the platform that you'll see is the opening page of the UDOIT tool. It gives you a little welcome to the tool. There's some information about where the tool was created. They have an overview video that you can watch, as well as a link to a user guide if you ever want to come back and learn more about the tool or remind yourself about anything we talked about today. Has some other information, and there's also a list of what UDOIT looks for when it scans your course. What you'll see when it scans your course, I'm going to scroll back to the top, is a banner that shows up at the top that says your course is scanning. I'll show you what that looks like in a second. Usually it does it automatically the first time that you use it. If you ever have to have it scan again because you've added new content, there's always the Scan Now button, which you can press. And then you'll see the banner that shows up that says it's scanning, and then it tells me the scan is complete. In the future, if you don't want to see this welcome message, you can skip it. I'm going to leave it for now, and then I'm going to press continue. And so what you'll see next is just a variety of different ways that the tool is trying to show you that it has found errors in your course site. For me, you're going to see that it says a lot of issues have been fixed because the tool does remember previous instances of when I've used it for other workshops. So you can ignore that for now, but for you, this will be really useful for kind of seeing how many errors you might have. If you've fixed things, you can keep track of how many things you've fixed. There's a few other lists here that it shows you. And then on the right-hand side, there's a menu of ways to get started. So if you're overwhelmed and you just want to focus on errors or just the easiest things to fix, you can do that. I am going to focus on all open issues, so we can see everything that pops up. and then I'm going to click Get Started. And so what this list shows me now is every issue that UDOIT has found in my course site. It gives you a list where it shows you where the issue is, what type of content it's on, so whether that's a page, or I have one here that is on an assignment. It looks like it's on the second page. It tells you what the issue is that it found, and then there are buttons here that you can click for reviewing each issue. So we're going to go through a handful of these, not all of them, but just to show you how this process works.